Hey everybody, again with Cool TV. I am with Matt Trivium. How are we doing today?
Great, man. How are you?
Pretty hot over here.
No, this is one of the coolest days of the tour.
One of the coolest days. Now you're from Florida.
Yeah. So we're used to this humidity.
You're used to all this.
Yeah.
You know, I got a really interesting question over here. Basically, your songs, your covers, they're really artistic. Outside of music, who are some of your favorite artists, you would say?
Within Waves, our new record, the biggest artistic influence on me were directors: David Lynch, Lars von Trier, Christopher Nolan, Paul Thomas Anderson. Those are probably the biggest ones. I'm also really influenced by modern artists, like Corey Archangel's one of my favorite ones. But even the idea of modern art is really what influenced me, because if you look at classical art, you can even compare it to metal. You look at classical art and there are very specific rules that you have to adhere to for it to be considered art. When it comes to modern art, you can do whatever you want, any way you want to do it, and it's still considered your art form. And that's really a big thing that we try to do with this record, is allow ourselves to be influenced by anything and let anything take place.
Fantastic, fantastic. Speaking of classics and all that, if you were today to go up on stage with one of those classic bands from back in the day, who would that be?
I think we've done it. We've been on stage with Metallica before, with Maiden before. We got to do Die Die My Darling by the Misfits, another one of my favorite bands. We got to do that at a festival with Avenged and Bullet, or other two bands we like a lot. So we've been able to tour with a lot of our favorites, and we've been able to do a lot of really great stuff. I guess if we could ever do a tour with someone who isn't around, and I think the original lineup of Queen would be amazing, but I don't know if our two bands really mix very well, but they're one of my favorites. So.
Now, being on tour, I mean, you're touring so much for so long. What are some, are there certain things that you have to go through before you go on stage? Any superstitions that you have to do? Or?
It used to be a really long warm-up process. It used to be about 2 or 3 hours, but I've since condensed it. So a little bit of guitar, a little bit of vocals, but I need to make sure I do at least 30 to 90 minutes of yoga before going on stage. Like, I need to do that nowadays.
Very good now, very good. Now, if anyone misses the show today, if they were to go to your next show, what would they be expecting?
I pride ourselves in being an incredible live band. There are a lot of bands nowadays that can't perform as their CDs show. A lot of bands nowadays that use their CD audio playing while they're playing, backing tracks, Pro Tools stuff, Auto-Tune Live. We don't use any of that shit. Obviously, some bands need to use some stuff for backing synths, you know, maybe some backup stuff that no one in the band can pull off, just like strings or whatever. That's fine. You know, it's fine to band play tracks, but things where there's lead vocals happening while the lead singer's singing, that's not okay. And that's stuff that we don't need to do. We don't do it, and we play. We're a real band. We're a band to the full extent of the definition, which is something I feel like has been lost over the years.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, I heard somewhere in the grapevine that you are a huge food fan.
Yes.
We're all the way up here in Connecticut. You're all the way from Florida. Is there something that you're missing from somewhere from down there you wish you had up here?
With me, there's something amazing in every single city, every single town, every single country you're in. And for me, I will try anything that any culture eats, any local thing eats. Like, I was just in Lock Haven, PA, and I got to go to all like the specific local joints that they go to, like a place that's been around since, I guess, like the mid-1900s or something. You know, stuff like that. Like, I'm really into anything. Like, I bet there's amazing stuff in the city, but we're so far away from everything right now, it's like impossible. So I just miss being in the towns with a native who can show us around. It's like, for anywhere that I am in the world, I always try to like record my adventures. Like, my blog site is matthewkichihafi.tumblr.com, and I just posted another one today. It's another British episode. So I've got multiple Japanese, French, German, New York. I'm about to have some from we had an incredible food experience in Omaha. It's the Lock Haven, PA one. So we can make great days out of anything as long as we know where to go.
Fantastic. I love my Polish cooking, so if you're ever around again, I'm going to get you some kielbasis and
that'd be
pierogies,
awesome,
and that'll be awesome.
I love Polish food. We got to have a lot of that in Warsaw, so
excellent.
Awesome, man.
Thank you so much for being on.
Yep.
Only on Cool TV.